Welcome to the Chief Architect Quick Tip video. Today I'll be covering how to create built-in benches in Chief Architect Premiere. Let's get started. So I have a blank new plan here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the cabinet tool and place a cabinet in my plan. Cabinets are very versatile in Chief Architect. You can use them for many different things, and one of the items that I found was using cabinets to create benches. And by doing this, I can essentially create a couch of sorts that has built-in storage. So after placing the cabinet in my plan, I'm going to click on its temporary dimension, and I want to make this cabinet a bit wider so that it really works as a bench. So I'm going to go ahead and set it at 8 feet. So that's going to stretch the cabinet out. Now I'm also going to want to make quite a few more adjustments to this cabinet in its specification dialog. Now with an object selected, you can click on Open Object from this bottom left edit toolbar, or what I like to do is use Control E on my keyboard, which is a shortcut to open up that same dialog. So now that I'm looking at the cabinet's specification dialog, I'm going to take a look at its general panel here to make a few changes before I move on to the next panel. So the height for this cabinet I'm going to change to 24 inches. This is going to make it a bit lower, a little bit more comfortable for sitting on. I'm looking at the countertop next. Now I want to change its thickness to 3 inches. I'm going to use the countertop as the cushion for this bench later. The overhang I'm going to set to 0 so that it's flush with the rest of the cabinet. Now for the backsplash, I don't want a backsplash being created whenever I put this cabinet up against a wall. So I'm going to set the height to 0, click Tab to go to the next section, and then click 0 there to change the thickness to 0 as well. Again, the toe kick, similar to the backsplash, isn't as necessary. I'm going to change that to 1 inch just so that the drawers aren't dragging along the floor, and then I'm going to change the depth to 0. Now, next I'm going to click on the front panel. This is where the magic happens in the cabinet tools. Now you'll notice here that I have this icon selected. If I click on a section of the cabinet, you'll notice that it also selects under face items. Well, I want to remove this drawer. It's not necessary. I'm going to click to select this door here, and I'm going to change it to a drawer, as I really want 2 big drawers in front of this bench. Now one thing you'll notice here is that this is just a slab drawer currently, but I may want to change that. So I'm going to click on Library to open up the Select Library object, and this is where I'm going to be able to change what panel I want to be using for this drawer. I'm going to click on the Core Catalogs, Architectural, Cabinets, Doors, and Drawers, and I'm just going to look through here to see what exactly do I want for this panel. I'm going to select Inlaid, and I'm going to go with just the regular inlay, and then click OK. Now you'll notice that it's updated in this preview here. If I select this preview, I've selected the drawer. I'm going to click on Split Vertical, and what that's done is separated it into two separate drawers for me. Now the one other thing I'd like is I don't really want knobs here, so I'm going to go to the Door Drawer panel, look at my drawer handles, which is currently using the default, as we see, the knobs. I'm going to click on this drop-down menu and select Pull Horizontal. You'll notice that that's also changed here. Now, lastly, I want to add a little bit of round edge to this cushion. I don't really want a hard-edged cushion here. I don't think that'd be very comfortable. So I'm going to click on Moldings, Add New, and I'm going to look for just a molding that has a nice round edge to it. And under Edge Molding here, I'm going to use CA35 and then click OK. Now you'll notice, you can zoom in here and you'll see that it's lined up with the top of our cabinet countertop, but it's not lining up with the bottom. If you remember, I changed that thickness to 3 inches earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and change this molding thickness to 3 inches as well, and you'll see that it now aligns properly. Now the last thing we want to do is going to be adding materials to all of this. So I'm going to click OK, and I like adding materials in a 3D view. What's nice about that is you can set up, get a nice view, get an idea what it's going to look like, and then using the library browser you can search for different colors and materials that you might want to use. So I want to use a fabric material. Now I like using the search bar a lot in Chief Architect, and I'll type in a simple search term like fabric and see what it returns. Now this isn't going to be every fabric item, it's only going to be items with fabric in the name or as a search term. I'm going to find one that's close to what I want, and I'm going to right click it and use Show in Browser. The nice thing that this does is it brings me to a lot of potentially similar textures within the library browser that I can choose from. Now, I'm going to select one that fits my needs. So for this example, I'm going to use Paris Textile. Now, when I bring my mouse cursor into the 3D view, you'll notice that it's changed into a spray can. I'm just going to click on the countertop and then click on the molding polyline, and that's going to add this Paris 1 textile to each of those items. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to add a nice gray paint job to the rest of this cabinet. So I'm going to type in color, and this one I might be cheating a little bit. I know the name of the color I want to use. It's color contract. So I'm going to select that, and I'm just going to click to apply it to each item that I want to change to gray, and then that sets up my bench. Now one other thing that I'm going to add here is this bench only has a top cushion, but what if you want to add a back to it? Well, what I'm going to suggest is using the orthographic view tools, you can create an elevation facing the front of your cabinet. Then you can use the polyline here to draw a polyline above the cabinet. Now I'm going to select this polyline, and I'm going to make sure it's 8 feet just like the rest of the cabinet, and then I'm just going to move it to line it up with the rest of the cabinet here. And let's make this 1 foot 6 inches tall. And again, just line it up with the top of the cabinet. So next I'm going to want a little bit more rounded edges here. So I'm going to go to the fillet tool. When you click on fillet, you now have some additional options down here. One is set the fillet radius. Now I have it at 2 inches here, and that's what I want to keep it at. So I'm going to click enter, and then I'm going to use the tool Fillet All. Now Fillet All rounds all the corners, and then I'll just click enter, and that has returned me back to my normal edit tools, and I have rounded edges on all of the corners of that polyline. Now to convert that to the 3D cushion that I want, I'm going to use the Convert Polyline tool. I'm going to select Polyline Solid and click OK. And now I'm going to choose a thickness of 3 inches just like I did for the bottom cushion, and then click OK. So that's created the polyline solid, but I want to make sure it's lined up correctly. So I'm going to close the cross-section elevation. I'm going to go back to my floor plan view, click the space bar to go back to my Select Objects tool, and I'm just going to move this right back on top, zoom in a little bit, and make sure it's lined up well with that bench. Now, like I did before, I'm going to create another camera view, and then I'm going to use this material eyedropper again. I'm going to select this material that I've already chosen for my cushion and apply it to that back cushion. And there you have it. I've created a bench here that you can use as a couch, sit, lounge, and then it has 2 nice storage drawers underneath. If you go to chiefarchitect.com, you can click on Products and Compare Products to see a comparison between Chief Architect Premiere and Interiors. You can also click Free Trial Download, and you can download a free trial of Premiere or Interiors to see which one best suits your needs. We also have a user center with a lot of additional content for helping you learn how to use the software and get the most out of it. And we also have the Chief Talk Professional forums where you can connect with other users of Chief Architect. I hope you enjoyed this quick tip video, and I invite you to find additional resources through chiefarchitect.com or download a free trial of Chief Architect. Thank you for watching this quick tip, and have a great day.